Welcome to Manatee County's public hearing for the Fort Hamer Road Project Development and Environment, or PD&E study. We appreciate your attendance and participation. This public hearing is being conducted to give the public the opportunity to review and provide comments on the proposed preferred alternative and associated effects on the social, economic, cultural, natural, and physical environment. The purpose of this PD&E study is to evaluate engineering and environmental data and document information that will aid Manatee County, along with partners Sarasota-Manatee Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO, and Florida Department of Transportation, or FDOT District 1, in determining the type, preliminary design, and location of the proposed improvements. The study begins at Upper Manatee River Road and extends approximately 3.8 miles in Manatee County to US 301. The county proposes to widen this segment of Fort Hamer Road and add multimodal accommodations for all users. The need for the proposed improvements for Fort Hamer Road is based on population and traffic growth in the area and the region as a whole. Fort Hamer Road is an important north-south connection in the region, serving as an alternative to I-75, providing connectivity between central Manatee County and US 301 in Parrish. This project seeks to enhance safety, improve traffic operations, provide multimodal access, and meet future transportation demands in Manatee County. Within the project limits, Fort Hamer Road is a two-lane undivided roadway with 12-foot lanes and intermittent right turn and left turn lanes. There are generally 5-foot paved shoulders on each side of the roadway, within at least 77 feet of existing right-of-way or property that Manatee County already owns. Stormwater runoff is collected in roadside ditches. The posted speed limit is generally 45 miles per hour. There are sidewalks, mainly along the west side of the road. Throughout this PD&E study, Manatee County has looked at different concepts to widen the existing 2 lanes of Fort Hamer Road to a 4-lane divided roadway with a raised median and enhanced multimodal accommodations for all users. The last public meeting was an Alternatives Public Information meeting held on January 25, 2024, in person, and on February 1, 2024, online. At that meeting, we asked for your input on proposed improvements to Fort Hamer Road. The majority of comments received did not express a preference for an alternative. Some of the feedback received included concerns regarding boat and trailer access, noise, and traffic congestion. Based on your comments and additional environmental and engineering analysis, a preferred alternative was selected for Fort Hamer Road. The preferred alternative for Fort Hamer Road is Alternative 2, with roundabout intersections. The preferred alternative roadway typical section includes a raised median, 2 lanes in each direction, bicycle lanes, a shared use path on one side, and a sidewalk on the other. The preferred alternative bridge typical section includes a new structure for 2 southbound lanes with a shared use path and a reconfigured existing structure for 2 northbound lanes with a wider sidewalk. The improved roadway will utilize a 40-mile-per-hour posted speed. The preferred alternative includes roundabout intersections at Riv Isle Run, Mulholland Road, Old Tampa Road, and Golf Course Road. Roundabouts have been shown to have safety and traffic operational benefits for all roadway users. Throughout this study, a no-build alternative is also considered. The no-build alternative assumes that no improvements are made to Fort Hamer Road through the year 2050, except for routine maintenance. There are advantages and disadvantages to the no-build alternative. Advantages of the no-build alternative include no impact to the adjacent social, cultural, natural, or physical environments, no utility impacts, and no expenditure of funds for right-of-way acquisition or construction. Disadvantages include not consistent with the Manatee County Comprehensive Plan, does not improve safety conditions, does not improve pedestrian and bicycle accommodations, and does not improve vehicular traffic operations. The no-build alternative remains a valid option and will continue to be evaluated until the completion of this study. Manatee County evaluated environmental and socioeconomic factors relating to proposed widening improvements in accordance with the National Environmental Policy Act of 1969, as amended, and other federal requirements. The evaluation considered the effects of widening Fort Hamer Road on protected species and habitat, wetlands and floodplains, water quality, stormwater management and permitting, air quality, right-of-way requirements and relocations, contamination, archaeological and historical resources, recreational sites, noise, land use, construction effects, farmland, and aesthetics. Protected species and habitats are allowed special protection under the Endangered Species Act of 1973 as amended and Florida statutes. Manatee County assessed species within the project limits and through ongoing coordination with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has determined that the proposed project may affect but is not likely to adversely affect the existence of certain federally listed threatened or endangered species. The animal species include the eastern indigo snake, Gulf sturgeon, Rufo redknot, small-toothed sawfish, wood stork, and the West Indian manatee. In addition, the project will have no adverse effect anticipated on the following state-listed threatened or endangered species shown on the slide. Coordination with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service regarding the final status of these species is ongoing. In addition to ongoing coordination, Manatee County has committed to reinitiating consultation with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and National Marine Fisheries Service during the design and permitting phase of the project for determining impacts to various species and habitats, and developing mitigation measures to offset unavoidable impacts. If the preferred alternative is approved, Manatee County will continue to work closely with environmental agencies in future phases through construction to meet all environmental permitting requirements. Manatee County evaluated wetlands and surface waters within the project study area. Potential direct impacts of the preferred alternative include approximately 3.62 acres of wetlands, 4.56 acres of surface waters, and 0.10 acres of other surface waters. Other surface waters include permitted facilities such as stormwater or flood compensation ponds. Direct and secondary wetland impacts will be further assessed during the design phase for this project and will also include identification of mitigation needs to offset any unavoidable wetland impacts. Manatee County evaluated potential floodplain involvement within the project study area. The calculated roadway floodplain encroachment of the preferred alternative is 4.95 acre-feet. Floodplain compensation sites have been co-located with pond sites to reduce property impacts. The hydraulic length of the new bridge is proposed to match that of the existing Fort Hamer Bridge, resulting in no impact to the riverine floodway and coastal zone of the Manatee River. Results of the environmental contamination screening showed that within the project study area, 0 sites were ranked high for potential contamination, 17 sites were ranked medium for potential contamination, and 8 sites were ranked low for potential contamination, For the sites with a risk ranking of low, no further action is required at this time. For the sites with a risk ranking of medium, Level 2 contamination assessment investigations have been recommended for any areas that have proposed subsurface work activities like pole foundations or drainage features. A requirement for federally funded projects is the evaluation of highway traffic noise. The evaluation uses methodologies established by the FDOT's Traffic Noise Policy and the FDOT PD&E Manual. A total of 126 noise-sensitive sites were evaluated, representing 121 residences, 2 schools, a place of worship, a park, and a golf course. The results of the highway traffic noise analysis indicate that 15 residences are predicted to have noise levels that approach, meet, or exceed the noise abatement criteria in the future, with the preferred alternative. A noise barrier is a potentially reasonable and feasible noise abatement measure for the 8 impacted receptors within the Kingsfield subdivision, but not the remaining 7 impacted receptors. Detailed noise analysis and public involvement during the final design phase will confirm the need, feasibility, and public support of providing this noise abatement. Under Section 4F of the Department of Transportation Act of 1966, Fort Hamer Park and Hidden Harbor Park are Section 4F resources. Based on the overall minor level of impact and implementation of proposed mitigative actions to address potential impacts, the project will not adversely affect the activities, features, and attributes of each property in meeting its intended Section 4F purpose. As such, Manatee County is pursuing a Section 4F de minimis finding for the potential impacts to each resource. This information is available for review tonight. This hearing provides the opportunity for public comment on the project's impact to Fort Hamer Park and Hidden Harbor Park. A cultural resource assessment survey was conducted in accordance with Section 106 of the National Historic Preservation Act of 1966 and Florida statutes. Based on the results of the research and field investigations, no archaeological sites or historic resources that are listed, eligible, or that appear potentially eligible for listing in the National Register of Historic Places are located within the project area of potential effects. The preferred alternative will result in no historic properties affected. Manatee County has identified right-of-way impacts needed for the preferred alternative. However, this project will not cause any relocation of families or businesses. All right-of-way acquisition will be conducted in accordance with Florida Statute 339.09 and the Federal Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisition Act of 1970, commonly known as the Uniform Act. The county right-of-way specialists who are supervising this program will be happy to answer any questions you may have. An evaluation matrix showing a detailed comparison of the preferred alternative and the no-build alternative is provided in the project handout and is also on display here this evening. The matrix shows potential effects to the social, cultural, natural, and physical environments and identifies preliminary costs. The estimated costs to widen Fort Hamer Road from Upper Manatee River Road to US 301 include $12.5 million for final design, $1.2 million for wetland mitigation, $10.4 million for right-of-way acquisition for roadway and stormwater management areas. The total estimated construction cost for the project is $151.4 million. The cost for construction engineering and inspection is estimated at $15 million. The county's preliminary estimate of total project cost is $190.5 million. At this time, Manatee County has funding through the design phase. Right-of-way acquisition and construction phases are not currently funded. The county anticipates completion of this PD&E study by mid-2025. The study schedule is on display this evening. We encourage you to review project information tonight and provide us your feedback. All comments should be submitted or postmarked by Monday, December 16, 2024, to become a part of the formal hearing record. All hearing materials presented tonight are available to the public on the project webpage and will remain posted for your review. The technical documents are also available for review in person at the Rocky Bluff Branch Library, 6750 US 301 North, Ellington, Florida, 34222, or at the Palmetto Branch Library, 923 6th Street West, Palmetto, Florida, 34221, until Monday, December 16, 2024. You may also visit the project website at www.forthamerroad.com for the latest study information, schedule, and upcoming events. This PD&E study is being conducted and completed according to the requirements of the National Environmental Policy Act and other related federal and state laws, rules, and regulations, which will qualify future phases of this project for federal funding, and this hearing was advertised consistent with those requirements. Please see the statute display board for all other applicable requirements. This hearing is also conducted in accordance with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990 and with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and related statutes. Anyone who feels they have been discriminated against with regard to race, color, national origin, age, sex, religion, disability, or family status may complete one of the forms located at the sign-in table and mail the completed form to the address listed on the poster board. And finally, a safety moment. Tech is nice, but always look twice. Don't depend on vehicle technology to keep you and other road users safe. We thank you for making safety a continued priority. Thank you for your interest and participation in the Fort Hamer Road Project Development and Environment Study public hearing, and for taking the time to join us this evening.